Hello, all my crafty people. It's time for our weekly project. If you haven't been here before, my name is Stephanie and I upcycle clothing, generally things I find at my local thrift stores and sometimes estate sales. This week is no exception. We have this beautiful, very fall-like scarf. It's grays and browns and khakis, and it's a very taupey kind of color. It's a 24 by 80, so it's an odd size for me to try and figure out how to wear. I'm just not good at it. And neither is my mama, who I'm going to make this for. And all we're going to be doing is adding some buttons. That's it. Very quick project, something that you can make use of some of those scarves you don't know how to wear. And like I said, I think it's going to be super easy. So if you want to follow along, by all means do. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hype, and I'll see you at the table. Okay, everybody, here is our scarf, and I have folded it just in half the long way. So this is in half. This is 24, almost 25 inches, and this is 80 inches, so all you're seeing is 40 right here. Now what I want to do, I measured my neckline, and I like it to be a little loose on my neckline, and that's what we're creating with these buttons is a neckline. So I'm going to measure 15 inches from the fold, which gives us about a 30-inch neckline. So I'm going to measure from the fold here about 15 inches. All right. Now what I did first was I pinned it, then tried it on. That would be my suggestion. And this is folded right sides together, hence the tag. But they're right sides together. And the reason I'm doing that is it'll just be easier to mark where we want our buttons. Now I have cut some of that Pellin interfacing. It's for stretchy stuff. This isn't necessarily stretchy, but I want it to have some give. So, and this stuff seems to work really well. I've got about, I think 6 pieces, because we're going to put 3 buttons on the side. And that's all we're doing. Fold it in half, putting 3 buttons on the side, wham, bam. So I'm going to go over and iron on, well actually I'm going to bring the ironing board over here. I'm going to iron on 3 pieces, and I'm probably going to do them a little above that, because I want my buttons to be right at this point, right past the 15-inch mark, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, like that. Hope y'all can see that. There we go. Now I've messed up my lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1. Okay, so that's where I want my buttons. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to iron on this interfacing on the wrong side of the scarf, and we're going to go put buttonholes on. Then I'll turn around and I'll iron on, well, I'm going to go ahead and iron on the other side as well right now, because I want to be able to secure that button and give it something extra to hold on to. And again, this is just that Pellin interfacing. So I'll put it in the description. Okay, here I am steaming down my little Pellin interfacing pieces. A lot of steam, and I'm using a pressing cloth, which actually is one of those flour sack cloths that you can pick up at your local Walmart, but they work great for pressing cloths. So there they all are. Okay, now I've marked the center of each of my little pieces of interfacing that I've attached with the steam iron, and that's how big my buttons are. They're about 1 inch, so I know where to put my buttonholes. The other side has also got interfacing on it, but those will just be to hold the button in place. They're not necessarily something that I needed to sew on. I just thought I'd give it a little more stabilization. So let's go make our buttonholes. Okay, here I am with the buttonhole maker. You don't see a button in the back there. I've already sized it, and that's why I just took it out, because these buttons are kind of fiddly and they want to move around because they're natural shell and they're not just flat. Anyway, does anybody else struggle with their buttonhole maker? Just, I feel like I have to give it a little extra help sometimes, and I don't remember always having that problem with it. But slow and steady, and I'd get 3 of these put in the side, and all done. Now I'm just going to open these up. I started them with a seam ripper, but I finished them with my little gingers because this is delicate fabric, and I could just see me ripping right through the end. Some people will put a pin at the end so they don't do that. All right, the last step here is I'm just putting the buttons on, and what I'm doing is I'm sticking my needle through the buttonhole to the other side. Sometimes I just find that easier to line them up, and then I'm sewing all 3 of my natural shell buttons on. These were real pretty. I had a hard time deciding which side I wanted to show. So, here you go. Okay, everybody. What you think? I don't have to think about putting this on. I just slip it over. I button it as many times as I want to button it. And it's just less complicated for me with scarves if I have something that secures it. And it doesn't shift on me. You know, it's there. It's not going to move. So it's nice and toasty. That's good too. I think my mom's going to like it. I'll give it to her tonight. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this really quick project. 3 buttons, fold the scarf, make your buttonholes. There you go. If you did, by all means, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hype. And I will catch y'all on the flip side of our next project.